In a small rural village of East Africa, lived a young and loving couple named Juma and Asha. They had been married for 5 years but were still waiting for the blessing of a child. Juma, a hard-working farmer, and Asha, a dedicated weaver, were well respected in their community for their kindness and strong bond. One day, while Juma was tending to his crops, an elderly herbalist named Mema Jalea visited their village. She was known for her ancient healing techniques and miraculous remedies. Asha, eager to fulfill her dream of becoming a mother, approached Mema Jalea and shared her worries about not conceiving. Mema Jalea, with her deep, raspy voice, told Asha about a rare concoction made from the roots of the Mbolia plant, which was believed to enhance fertility. However, she warned that the potion worked in mysterious ways and should be taken only by those truly prepared for change. Desperate, Asha persuaded Juma to join her in taking the herbal remedy, believing that if they both strengthened their bond through the ritual, their prayers might be answered. That night, under the pale moonlight, Mema Jalea prepared the potion, chanting blessings and offering prayers for the couple's future. Weeks passed, and to Asha's delight, she started experiencing the familiar symptoms of pregnancy. Morning sickness, cravings, and a joyful glow became part of her days. But then something unexpected happened. Juma, too, began to feel nauseous and tired. At first, he brushed it off as exhaustion from work, but when his belly began to swell, fear gripped him. The villagers noticed Juma's changing physique and began whispering among themselves. Was it a curse? Was Juma being punished for something? Asha, although worried, remained supportive, holding his hand as they visited Mema Jalea for answers. Mema Jalea listened calmly, her wrinkled face reflecting both wisdom and curiosity. After examining Juma, she revealed that the Mbolia plant, known for its fertility powers, was not selective. It had strengthened the bond between the couple so intensely that they both carried life within them. Juma and Asha were not just husband and wife, they were now both bearers of new life. The news spread like wildfire, and while some villagers were amazed, others were terrified. Men whispered that Juma was cursed, while women argued that it was a sign from the ancestors, blessing the couple with a miracle. As the pregnancies progressed, Juma found himself facing ridicule. Some mocked him, calling him a weak man for bearing a child, while others pitied him. Asha, too, faced challenges, as many accused her of bringing misfortune upon her husband. The once harmonious village was now divided. Amidst all the chaos, Juma and Asha remained determined to protect each other. They believed that whatever had happened was a blessing, not a curse, and they prepared for the births together, finding comfort in each other's presence and love. But soon, rumors spread that the dual pregnancy was a bad omen, and some villagers demanded that the couple leave the community before the babies were born. Heartbroken but resilient, Juma and Asha decided to seek refuge with Asha's distant relatives in another village. Just as they were preparing to leave, an unexpected visitor arrived at their doorstep, the village chief, Mzee Bakery. Accompanied by elders, he demanded an explanation from Mema Jalea, who calmly recounted the entire story. Mzee Bakery, after a long pause, declared that if the ancestors had indeed granted such a rare miracle, it was not for humans to judge or fear. Despite the chief's words, tension remained, and Juma and Asha were unsure whether to stay or leave. Just as hope seemed to dwindle, a surprising turn of events changed everything. As days passed, Juma and Asher's world seemed to calm down, but little did they know that the real test was yet to come. Just when they thought everything would go back to normal, Asher suddenly went into labor. The news spread like wildfire, and villagers gathered in awe. What was most shocking, however, was that Juma, who had been quietly enduring his own strange symptoms, also began to feel immense pain. His belly, which had grown over the months, became unbearable. The community gathered around them, unsure of what was happening. The villagers, some skeptical and others fearful, looked to Mama Jalea for answers. The old herbalist, whose knowledge of the Mbolia plant had already sparked both awe and terror, arrived hurriedly at their doorstep, followed by a few trusted elders. As Asher screamed in pain, the once strong and confident Juma now began to mimic her cries, clutching his swollen abdomen in agony. The villagers, who had once mocked and whispered about Juma's condition, now watched in shock, unable to comprehend the magnitude of the situation. It was as if the very earth beneath them had shifted, and this was no ordinary event. Mama Jalea stepped forward, issuing commands for hot water, clean cloth, and a safe space for delivery. The birth was a moment of divine chaos. Juma, in the midst of labor, looked into Asher's eyes, finding comfort and love in the chaos of the moment. Both of them, side by side, endured the pain together. They shared a deep connection, as if their souls were intertwined in a way no one could understand. The tension in the air was palpable as the villagers anxiously awaited the arrival of the babies. And then, the miracle unfolded. At the same time, Juma and Asher both gave birth to twins, 2 babies, 1 boy and 1 girl. The moment the babies cried out, the tension in the air seemed to lift. The villagers, stunned and speechless, could not believe their eyes. The twins, born of both mother and father, bore matching birthmarks on their foreheads. The birthmarks were unique, a symbol of unity and strength, an emblem of the bond between Juma and Asher that transcended all understanding. Mama Jalea, witnessing the miracle unfold before her, explained to the gathered crowd that the Mbolia plant's powers were more profound than anyone had realized. The fertility it bestowed was not just about the ability to bear children, it was about uniting 2 souls to create life in the most extraordinary way. The plant had not just given them fertility, it had granted them the ability to create life together, as equal partners, both as fathers and mothers in their own right. The villagers, who had initially feared and rejected the couple, now stood in awe, realizing that they had witnessed something truly divine. Mzee Bakery, the village chief, arrived at the scene with a group of elders and after witnessing the birth, declared that the twins were a sign of harmony, a blessing from the ancestors. He announced that the couple, Juma and Asher, had not been cursed, but had been chosen by the gods to bring about a change in the village. Juma and Asher, their hearts filled with overwhelming joy and relief, looked at their newborn twins, Baraka, which meant blessing, and Tumaini, which meant hope. The names were symbolic of what they had gone through, Baraka for the miracle they had witnessed and Tumaini for the hope that now filled their lives. The once divided village began to unite, realizing that love and unity had triumphed over fear and misunderstanding. The birth of the twins had not only transformed Juma and Asher's lives but had also touched the hearts of the villagers. They had all witnessed a miracle, one that would change their lives forever, reminding them of the power of love, acceptance, and the unexpected miracles that life could offer.